Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and I'm out here on Poke Beach again, looking at some new cards. Have been revealed. I believe they're all from Pokemon card 151, set in Japan, that features the 101 original Pokemon. So pretty cool here. And some of these cards are good, some of these cards aren't good. Most of these cards aren't good. Spoilers, actually, I'm going to be talking about a few really good cards that are just very recently revealed. That's why I was inspired to do this, because a lot of these aren't very good. But as I said, some are pretty cool, and I've looked at some before, so I'm not going to be covering those again. But I'm starting off at the beginning of May, so that's when I'm looking at the reveals here, and anything newer than that. So that's quite it's a couple of weeks. But enough stalling. First, let's look at this Raichu here. As an ability, grounding, that says if one of your Pokemon is knocked out from damage from an opponent's attack, you may move a basic energy, basic lightning energy from that Pokemon to this Pokemon, and it has an attack. 180, it does 52 itself. This is kind of like Lantern, which we've seen. As far as I know, that didn't really see any play. I don't despise this Raichu, but it's not particularly amazing either. And in fact, we've actually seen a better Raichu. It's actually one colorless energy, and if your opponents use the restart power, it does pretty good damage as well. I am not a big fan of this. It's not truly awful, but it's not great. This Onyx here, Thumping Avalanche. First of all, heavy impact, which is actually wrong here in this description. It's only 4 energy, not 5, but it's still bad. But fighting type basic. 2 colorless, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. This deck does 80 for each Pokemon, and there are 2 cost of exactly 4. Discard in this way. I don't despise this, but I don't think it's quite good enough. It's kind of awkward to use, and we don't have enough energies to pay this, I don't think. So, yeah, I don't hate it, but I don't think it's particularly good either. So, yeah, it's not great, unfortunately. Not awful. Again, these cards aren't awful, but not super good. Now, fossils, which actually were released revealed at different times. Yeah, so we see Old Dome Fossil, which is a 60 HP fossil Pokemon. And it can evolve into, I believe, both the Kabuto and the... Oh, no, not the Ammonite. So, yeah, Helix Fossil we'll see later, I guess. I don't know if it's been revealed, but Old Dome Fossil is an item fossil. It evolves, of course, into this Kabutops line, and it says it can't be affected by any special conditions. It also can't retreat. Oh, yeah, that's the effect. And then it has an ability that says it takes 30 less damage from attacks. This is really interesting, as it's an item card, and it takes less damage. It's a 60 HP colorless Pokemon in play, but of course an item. I don't know, this is kind of funky. I don't actually hate this as like an idea. It has an ability. It's kind of unique. Of course, it just evolves, though. This Kabuto is bad, and this Kabutops says weakness is 4 times instead for your opponent. I don't know. It's okay, but it's a stage 2 fossil. It's awkward and won't really work, unfortunately. An Ammonite can remove energy, but it's not that good still. An Amistar here. This is if it's in the active, your opponent's active, can't retreat. We've seen this on Snorlax as a basic, which is good, but as a stage 2 fossil, it'll be bad. It does have a moderately okay attack, but still not great. Now, this Staryu Starmie, I remember this one's really cool. Staryu, though, not very good. It does hit through effects, which is kind of fun, but kind of useless, too. Starmie here, though, its ability Aquatic Enigma, kind of fun ability. I hope it gets translated as that. Once during a turn, you would put 2 damage cards on one of your opponent's Pokemon, but then you need to discard the Starmie from play. So, if you place damage counters. This is okay, kind of like Flapple. You can recover it with, I don't remember, with Rescue Carrier, yeah. So this is, like, not the worst card in the world. And you can recover with Miriam. I honestly kind of like this. Do I love it? I mean, no, it's kind of weird, but I think it has potential to be a very strong card. I'm looking forward to the Starmie. I think Starmie plus Miriam, the more I think about it, is like very viable. This is definitely the best card we've seen so far. I like it. There's some other good ones, but this one's pretty nice. It's fun. It's not broken, but it's cool. Now, Cycling Road. This is like a stadium card. It says once during each player's turn, they may discard a basic energy from their hand to draw 1 card. like a baby Radiant Greninja. Of course, if you're looking to get basic energy in the discard, this is a pretty solid option. Drawing an extra card is kind of cool. This card's a bit weak, though. It doesn't provide too much value. I think it's a bit underwhelming. And, of course, any deck can use it. It's a little bit of a bailout. But I can't think of anything specifically that really wants this, unfortunately. I guess Volcarona V, but, like, let's be honest, who's running Volcarona V right now? And that's it. So, oh, yes, what's called a Greninja, Radiant Greninja. Yeah, next we got this Victory Bell line. Of course, Weeping Bell and Bellsprout are kind of useless. But then, oh, this also has the Tangela. Have we seen this already? I don't remember. But this Victory Bell says, delayed acid 120 at the end of your opponent's next turn. Put 12 damage counters on the defending Pokemon. 240 for 2 in a stage 2 is pretty solid, but not broken. But the fact that it's delayed means they'll just probably switch out. And it's kind of awkward to power up anyway. So unfortunately, yeah, it's not amazing. But Tangela, I think it's Tangela. For 1 grass, so it does 70 if you played Erica's Invitation, which I believe is the card that I don't know if we've seen this already, but it's a gust. I don't know what this is. No one's talking about exactly what it does here, unfortunately. But I believe it's like puts a card from a Pokemon from their hand onto the bench and gusts it. You don't really want to be hitting into it, though. That's kind of silly. This Tangela is pretty like awful, unfortunately. And so is the Victory Bell. That's not very good. Aerodactyl, an old amber fossil now. So its ability says it's immune to effective abilities, which is kind of okay, I suppose. And then, of course, it's like a fossil again. Oh, and it says what it evolves into on the card. That's pretty fun. And then the Aerodactyl, your colorless, and, of course, a Stage 1 evolving from the fossil. Degeneration Arc. So it does 100 for 2 colorless. If your opponent's actives evolve, you devolve it. That's kind of fun. I don't think it's good enough, but you never know. This against something like Gardevoir EX will actually be pretty solid. I don't hate this in like a Zoroark box, but it's not amazing either. I think this is definitely the best of the fossils we've seen, but it's still not great. And now we look at, this Cubone Marowak line is kind of fun. Cubone, the attacks of your Marowak do 30 more to your opponent's active Pokemon. That's kind of good, right? Because you do, you just can buff your damage a lot, especially if you Zoroark. So you can have 4 Cubones on the bench plus Marowak. Bone Throw here does 30 plus 30 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. That's not awful. If it gets buffed to 150, that's pretty good. Boundless Power 120. This Pokemon can't attack next turn, which can be bumped up to 240, which is pretty good. But I don't know. I feel like this Marowak's a bit underwhelming. There's another Marowak in format currently. That's kind of bad. It's worse than this one. The Cubone's fun. I like the idea of it. I think it could be like viable, but this Marowak's not particularly strong. So we need to wait a little bit longer to see if it has like potential. And I looked through the comments and people said, yeah, it's pretty like has potential, but that's about it. And now these are some. Oh yeah, these are not the Pokemon 151 cards, but they are other ones. So we'll take a look at these as well. These are kind of bad, but we see. Actually, they're not all. I don't remember. Decidueye EX has an ability. Sorry, guys, I'm kind of tired when recording this, but I figure I gotta get it out at some point. Once during a turn, you may use this ability. If it's on your bench, you may switch it with your active. If it's in the active, you switch it with on your bench, and the attack's bad, bro. This is such an awful card. Yeah, this is bad. Small Live. This I believe is not good. Its attack is just there's an Arbeliever with an ability that's kind of bad that attacks the ability, which is just like worse. Victini EX, do 20 for 3, can't attack next turn, not awful by any means. Strafe, switch to the bench. This is just so generic, like it's not awful by any means, but I don't think there's any reason to play this. Let's see, this Litwick, Lampent. This Lampent can like gust and do 30, which is okay. Chandelure, 10 plus 50 more for each energy attached to the defending Pokemon. It's okay. Also, is it defending? Like, I know people say defending or opponent's active. I'm so used to defending Pokemon. Like in my custom card video, which you should check out if you haven't already. It's super good in my opinion. One of my best videos. Which isn't saying too much, but I think it's good. Like defending Pokemon. But anyway, so it does. It can do big damage if they have lots of energy on them. But it's like Magzone EX. No. It's not amazing, but it's not awful. Lapras here. It can spread 10 to each. That's not very good. Yeah, this was like really bad Tapu Koko. Fine Flip if you remember that. Froakie bad. Frogadier bad. Greninja EX. Snipe can do like okay damage. Kind of bad. Not awful, but not great. Another Miraidon EX. This one's like worse than the other Miraidon though. Clefairy. Oh, this Clefable is actually kind of interesting, I think. Your Pokemon that have Psychic Energy attached have no retreat cost. Not awful. Oh, this isn't very good. For 3 Psychic, 170, move your like Psychic Energy around your board, and you'll be like, this isn't awful, but it's not super strong either. Mawa. Oh, interesting here. It does 30 for each energy, Psychic Energy attached to this Pokemon. If you stick on Charm of Courage, you can be hitting with Gardevoir. Let's see. You'll be hitting 210 damage on a basic. In a Gardevoir EX deck. I don't hate this. This is honestly an okay card. Miraidon EX. Let's see. This isn't awful. It's not particularly good either. Houndoom EX. It stops basics from attacking, but not from attacking yet, so it's not very good. Melmetal EX, the last one we're looking at here, I think. Yeah, this is kind of bad. It can do like moderate damage with full metal knuckle, but if you need tons of metal, which you can't really get on. Yeah, this one's bad. So most of these are bad, unfortunately. But we'll move on to see some better ones, right? The Nidoran lines. This one's kind of bad, unsurprisingly. The pre-evolutions. Immune to basics. What does attack? That's not awful by any means. We've seen this before, though. And this is not the best way to do it, but it's something. And then the other line, the Nidoking line, says if Nidoqueen is on your bench, this Pokemon's attack costs no energy, 190. Wow, okay, so that's interesting. Obviously, the idea you can attack for free. Set these two up. But then you can also attack with Nidoqueen to wall basics, which can win games. I don't despise this. 90 plus poison, so it can definitely KO stuff. I don't hate this Nidoking, but it's a lot. It's like double stage 2. It's so much to set up. Oh, this Hypno. I think I saw this one. When you play this, you may leave your opponent's active asleep. I believe we've seen a Pokemon like this before, but this is cool. Is it good? I mean, it's not that good, but it's okay. This really cursed-looking Jinx EX with Badum. No way. It's Badum Kiss. Oh, that's like so bad. If your opponent's active is asleep, it's KO'd. Okay, yeah, that's what the Hypno's there for. That's a fun combo, but is it good? No. Is this the same as? There's some other combo that was like this. I don't remember what it was. It was like Midnight Darlings or something. I don't remember. It's a callback to that deck, I think. I never played that deck, but I heard about it. It was like kind of bad, but yeah, this is also not very good. Big Balloon. The stage 2 this card's attached to has no retreat. Bro, that's kind of like, I don't know. That's not good enough. That's just not good enough. Bill's transfer. Oh, this one. Look at the top 8 cards of your deck. You reveal any Pokemon you find there. Put them into your hand. Shuffle the other cards back into your deck. This card's not particularly good, but it's not useless by any means, so that's fine. Now, the birds. I remember seeing these. They're kind of funky. Oh, and this Chansey. I saw this Chansey. This card's super toxic. Its ability Lucky Bonus. If you took this as a face-down prize card, and your bench isn't full, before you put it into your hand, you may put it onto your bench, flip a coin. If heads, take one more prize card. That's so toxic. Like, you can literally just take 3 extra prizes, or you can just not do anything and fill your bench with these elite, useless Pokemon. This card's so bad, but at the same time, it's like so good. I really hate this card design because it's so toxic, but that's fine. Articuno, it very well may see top tier competitive play. We may see massive tournaments coming down to coin flips, which is, I'm sure, going to be very fun. Now Articuno. If this, so yeah, these three all say if they have their respective energy type attached, they have no retreat cost. This one does 110 for 3 water, 10 to each your opponent's bench. That's bad. Zapdos. I remember seeing this one for 3 lightning, 120 and 90 to 20 your opponent's bench. That has any damage on it. This is okay. I don't despise this as like someone said it was a. I think Ember Power said it was a finisher and Regieleki. I still don't think it's very good. And then the Moltres, again, the same ability. Just get 2 fire from this Pokemon, just 120 to one of your opponent's Pokemon. Not awful. Is it better than Delphox V? I'm not sure. Delphox V isn't that good anyway. This is worse than Delphox V, actually. But I don't despise this card in Armouge box, but it's still not great. Now, this is the crazy card. I'll skip the Ditto for now. That one's super busted. But I'll talk about Snorlax. Once in your turn, we put up to 2 leftover cards from your discard pile into your hand. That's pretty insane. Leftovers heals 20 every turn. I honestly really think this card's a pretty solid leftovers. Yeah, I really like it. And then Thwomp Press is bad, but that's fine. This Snorlax actually is very good. Mewtwo, oh, really interesting. With not Side Strike though. Side Strike's kind of bad, but oh, and this art's so good too. But this is definitely the best art I've seen. Although there's Vaporeon, and Vaporeon's an interesting Pokemon, but Reflective Barrier here on Mewtwo for 2 colors, 20. If you do double turbo, it literally does no damage, but during your opponent's next turn, if this Pokemon takes any damage from attacks, put the same number of damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. Of course, this could be very powerful. If your opponent hits into you with like a VMAX, they just like die in return, or don't die, but like they take a massive amounts of damage and then they die the next turn. I think this Mewtwo is like okay. It's interesting to obviously have to play around. If you want to actually copy it in a Ditto box deck, it's not awful. Now, the other Ditto, though, is absolutely insane with a funky art here. That's really fun, but really silly. Transforming Start. This ability can only be used if this Pokemon is in the active spot, and only... Oh, it's only on your first turn. I didn't know it was only on your first turn. Okay, this card's not as good as I thought it was, but still okay. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, except Ditto. If you do discard this Pokemon, all cards attached, and put that Pokemon in its place, then shuffle your deck. This is like a deck thinning card. It has a versatility as well. I think this could definitely see play in a Lost Box. It could see play in other decks as well. I didn't know it was only during your first turn. I read this really quickly. Some other time... But that's still pretty good, I think. I think this card has the potential to see top tier play. It's not completely busted, but it's solid. And next we have this Vaporeon here. Oh, this one's bad. If your opponent's active as a V or GX or V or EX, it does 180 for like watercolor cost. It's not awful by any means. Especially like say if Charizard EX like is good, which I don't think it'll be good, but if it is, or any like Arcanine EX, this will just one shot. It's not the worst card in the world, but I think Fire is not quite good enough. Also, sorry for any background noise. Lastly, Vileplume. This one's like bad. A bit of a sad one to end on. When you place Pokemon to evolve, when your Pokemon look at the top 8 cards and attach any number of basic energy cards you find there to your Pokemon any way you like, and then shuffle the other cards back into your deck. It's not the best thing in the world. It does accelerate energy, but it's still not great. And I think that's it for Pokebeach. But there's some cool cards revealed. I'm excited for this set. Am I like super hyped? And it is what it is, right? But it's cool. I like the ideas of it. I wish the cards were a little better, but still, as I said, some are pretty solid. But I hope you enjoyed. Check out, please subscribe. I'd like to hit 400 subscribers by the end of the month. That'd be super awesome. Obviously, you don't have to subscribe, but if you want to be part of the community, the next big Pokemon channel, please subscribe. I'm very tired. Good night, everyone.